restroom area, vending machines here in Texas. And it's a quaint little rest area, not as big as some of them in Texas. Beautiful trees, truckers over there. Then there's a long stretch of cars here. I don't know, probably maybe 30, 40 spaces. Here's a cool display about recycling. Wow, lots of cool facts. And just go on down the ways here a little bit. About fly ash. Got recycling steel again and again. Almost all metals can be recycled. Steel has a 150-year history of recycling. Interesting. Another cool fact, each day 130 million pounds of plastic waste are generated in the U.S. Wow. Texans scrap 24 million tires every year. Very fun, drizzly, rainy day. See the sweet little picnic areas here. Recycling old roads into new roads. Wow. Each year, 500 million tons of asphalt are used in U.S. road work. And there we go. National leader in recycling and composting, keeping Texas clean and green. I parked way down below, about four parking spaces up last night. I'm on the other side and gonna be hitting the road in a few. Hope you enjoyed this past week series every single day, taking you on my road trip, reliving life as a nomad. This will end the series for now. I will come back at you in this show and let you know how my visit was. I'm sure it's going to be awesome and I can't wait. And yeah, this will about do her. This was night number 5 at a rest area in the building here. And then I'm up in the corner here. I was putting together the gifts this AM. I've been up since about 6:30, I guess. Time to hit the road here in a few. It's a little bit disturbing. Oh well. You'll have that. I will be back at you in just a little bit and give you a little recap. Hope you'll join me. Driving. I've still got some beautiful fall color to look at. Headed back to Stepping Stone Retreats after a very fun and meaningful time with my grandchildren and spending Thanksgiving with the family. We actually ended up having a traditional Thanksgiving meal. My daughter made a yummy meal with the turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing and all that good stuff. And it was a first for the grandkids, so that was really fun to see their expressions and to taste turkey. I think this was tasting turkey for the first time. Memories. Yep, we made some good ones. We were quite busy doing a lot of different activities. And like I said, the time really went fast. So, yep, took a lot of pictures. Just had a very nice time. You know, everything from, I hope you enjoyed the series with reliving as a nomad. And this past week I came up with a list of what I like about living in the SUV and what I like about living in the tiny cabin. So I want to share that with you here in just a few. Probably wait till I get home to Stepping Stone Retreat to share that and end this series. Yep, the grandkids and I, we watched a movie, we watched some fun cooking shows, played games. They actually really got into learning about iMovie and videoing. And I've got a special treat for you coming up where we did a pour painting activity. And at the end, the last two segments, they actually did the videoing. So that was really cool. And they're young, and boy, do they catch on to everything. So it was really, really fun. I'm grateful for our time together. Yeah, so it's time to get settled back into my tiny cabin, and then I'm considering in about 3 or 4 weeks heading to Arizona for a month or two. So that's the plan for the time being. All right, I'm going to share with you, I think it's 10 things I came up with. SUV versus tiny cabin. Keep watching. As you can see, I am back here at Stepping Stone Retreat Tiny Cabin on the porch. It was such a fun 2 weeks away, reliving the nomad life. I hope you all have enjoyed the series that started last Sunday. I posted every single day for a week showing you visiting the rest areas, staying overnight, waking up in the morning, cooking in the SUV, which I call Happy Haven, taking walks, and giving you lots of thoughts along the way, how I pack and what I packed, all of it. So if you haven't seen the whole series, go back. I'll try to make up a playlist, and you can catch the videos from last week. But I wanted to end with today, being stationary in a tiny cabin home versus an SUV home. I call them both homes. I own 2 homes. First time in my life. And which do I prefer? Do I prefer one over the other? Well, as I was driving and then stationary at at the rest areas, I decided to make a list of everything that I like about being in the tiny home cabin and everything that I like about being in the SUV. And I wanted to stay on topic with each point and let you know what I like about that cross-reference each other. You'll get it as soon as I start talking about my list here. I do have notes, and I am going to just really read them off quickly to you, and we'll see who the winner is. Okay, as far as the tiny cabin, I like a microwave, and I like the quick and simple. And in the SUV/car, I like doing without and eliminating those electromagnetic waves. See how I'm talking about cooking, so I'm going to go back and forth. Number 2, I like a recliner in the tiny cabin. In the SUV, I like waking up to different scenery every single day and a sunrise. Number 3, I like a hot shower in the tiny cabin. In the SUV, I like the simplicity of staying clean, not making a big deal about it, and then going to Love's, to their big bathrooms and a shower, and taking my time. Sometimes I was there for over an hour. This time around, I showered at my daughter's, and I just stayed clean along the way. So I didn't shower before I got to her place. I showered before I left. Number 5 is I like a mailbox. I like to go down to the mailbox every day, even though I may only get mail like once a week, sometimes not even that. But on the road, I liked the mail forwarding where they would send me my mail once every month or two. Whenever I called them up, I asked them to send it, and I liked going through it all at one time. There was nothing urgent, and it wasn't like I needed to, see anything ahead of time. I do everything online. Number 6 is I like opening blinds. I have a routine when I wake up in the morning. First thing in the morning, I get up, turn the coffee pot on, say my morning prayer, and then I open the blinds. And it's just a really fun, cool feeling. In the SUV, as soon as I get turned around in the morning, I pull out the reflectix and get to see all the way around with all the windows. So I absolutely love that. I like a refrigerator for ice cream, amongst other things in the cabin. When I'm on the road, living in my SUV, I like that ice cream is a treat, not a staple. It really does help. Number 8, I like a closet with more clothes and lots of choices. Or I should say, lots of clothes, lots of choices. I don't have a lot of clothes anymore, but I certainly have more than what I have when I'm on the road. In my SUV, I like limited choices. And I just like wearing my favorites. I can wear my favorites over and over again. Put in the comments, do you have favorite clothes that even though you have a closet full, you go back to the same things all the time? Well, that's what I enjoyed in the SUV. Number 9 is I like a big screen TV and streaming. There's just something about sitting in the recliner and watching a movie or doing my streaming from Rumble or YouTube right on the big screen. In the SUV, I like watching videos on my phone. I like propping them up on the little console. Actually, I leaned it up against the other seat on the console, and it's cozy in the nighttime. But I also like that not having a big TV motivates me and pushes me to go out and do other things, because I don't have the TV going 24/7 anytime in the cabin or in the SUV. I'm not a big movie watcher, so I can do without the big screen, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And number 10, I like making meals where I have leftovers, whether it be meatloaf, chili, beef stew. I've done videos on all of those. I love leftovers. Well, I found in the SUV is I like the simplicity of pop open a can of soup and one spoon and wipe out the bowl and we're done. Heat up, of course, on the little gas one stove. I enjoy the simplicity of not opening the refrigerator, trying to make a decision, pulling out the pots and pans. And of course, when you make things like stew, you've got quite a lot of different things going on at one time. So I guess when it all boils down to the bottom line is woven through the cabin is 2 words. Living in the cabin is 2 words: convenience and comfort. Convenience and comfort. The microwave, the recliner, the refrigerator, the blinds, the mailbox, the big screen TV. All of that is comfort and convenience. And in the SUV, or back in the day, it was a car when I first started out, woven through everything that I just mentioned to you is simplicity and experiences. Simplicity and experiences. Traveling, limited choices, waking up to different places, I'm looking at my notes here again. Just having a phone, not having the phone, the TV, all those different devices. Not having a microwave or a refrigerator goes back to simplicity, which I share a lot of that with you in my book too, Rep to Revival. If you haven't got that book yet, it's a worthwhile book. And even the reviews say that it's a worthwhile book, so thank you. So which one wins, the cabin or the SUV/car? I don't think there's a winner. I know that I lean towards the SUV, traveling, working and playing life and making new friends. But I also know that I very much enjoy this cabin. So if I were to pick between, what I could do for 8 months out of the year and what I would do for the other 4, I guess you could say that the SUV wins. I would want to spend more time in my SUV and less time in the tiny cabin. So, God willing, someday that might happen. Right now I'm on a lease slot and I don't foresee me traveling as much as when I end up being able to own land. But for the time being, I will take the convenience and the comfort of Stepping Stone Retreat, and I will thank God for every single blessing every single day. So that'll about do it. I hope you enjoyed this series again, and that you will maybe be able to find the time to go do and travel and see things you haven't seen before, stay in rest areas, and keep it simple and make some new memories and some new experiences. Blessings in your day and joy in your journey. Thank you for watching and subscribing and clicking the bell. And if you don't mind giving this a thumbs up, that's really sweet too. Later.